your top story this hour, Hani's killer Janusz Walus left South Africa for his home country of Poland, a free man last night. Walus completed his 2-year parole this week. He was released from prison on the 7th of December 2022 after spending 28 years behind bars for killing the leader of the ANC's military wing, uMkhonto weSizwe, and General of the SACP. Politics editor Lukhanyo Calata has more on the story.
This was perhaps the last time South Africans would get to see Janusz Walus on our shores. But as the moment drew closer for him to step out from the Immigration Services vehicle at the OR Tambo International Airport's protocol lounge, a rather curious set of circumstances followed. A phone call to one of the senior immigration officers. Then, the team of heavily armed men whisked the killer away from our cameras, never to be seen again.
All right, so we are here now.
Walus became a household name in South Africa in 1993. The Pole was arrested alongside politician Clive Derby-Lewis for the murder of the former uMkhonto weSizwe commander, Chris Hani. His actions on that fateful Saturday morning of 10 April brought a country struggling with racial tensions to the brink of civil war. Walus was eventually convicted of Hani's murder and sentenced to death. He was, however, spared from the gallows when the country's first democratic government abolished the death penalty. Instead, Walus was meant to serve the rest of his life in jail. But in November 2022, 29 years after he first went to jail, the Constitutional Court handed Hani's assassin a lifeline. Then Chief Justice Raymond Zondo found the state had been irrational in denying Walus parole. The court ordered his release and that he serve 2 years on parole. Walus was eventually released from the Hosi Mampuru prison on 7 December 2022 after surviving an attack on his life when a fellow inmate stabbed him. Now, 2 years after his release, Walus has left South Africa. According to the minister in the presidency, Khumbudzo Ntshabeni, his departure is not something the government wanted.
It was never a government's decision. You'll recall Minister Masutla denied the parole. Minister Lamula denied the parole. It went to the highest court, the ConCourt. It is the ConCourt that ordered the parole of Mr. Janusz Walus, the murderer. And with that decision, it also prescribed the period of the parole and also ordered the time that he must be put on the parole. So it was not on government, it was on the ConCourt.
Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber assured South Africans that they didn't foot the bill for his ticket back to Poland.
We have made sure that South African taxpayers are not footing the bill. So the flight ticket for this individual to leave the country will not be paid by Mr. Hani's widow or by the people of South Africa. The Polish embassy has undertaken to do so. So it is essentially a transportation process from where he is being held to his escort out of the country, essentially.
1993. Hani's widow, Dimbo, was not available for comment, but in a statement the family released alongside the SACP, she did call for an inquest into her husband's murder. The new Minister of Justice, Mamuluku Kobai, is considering the request. For Newzroom Afrika, I'm Lukhanyo Calata, reporting in Johannesburg.